Hello guys, welcome back to my channel.
Active by night? Keep going crazy.
Today we're going to talk about CPSE, but this time CPSE for your school grade child. And I don't know if I'm using the right term, school grade, whatever, I don't know. School aged, I don't know. Basically talking about kids that are Nico's age. And Nico is, like I told you guys, he is having his own struggle. So now that potato CPSE journey is over, his is starting. So I wanted to come and talk to the parents who are going through this. Not even if you're not going through this, maybe you probably have an inkling that your child needs extra help and you don't know how to go about it. Again, this is just for New York City. I'm not sure how it goes in other states, but go ahead, always ask questions, do a little bit research, and maybe it's the same thing, you never know. Got my little handy dandy notebook. My sidekick Potato is trying to have a seat. We're just going to talk about this. We're going to get right into it, okay? CPSE, basically, for those who don't know what CPSE is, okay, the definition is the Committee of Preschool Special Education. It definitely made sense to do the preschool education for Potato. She is preschool age. She's about 2.5 right now. Nico, the other difference is that Nico is 5 years old. Nico's already in kindergarten. He didn't get the same things everybody else did, because as soon as he turned 2 and he was preschool age, COVID was extremely rampant. They had already shut down their schools and there was no way for the children who were smaller to do remote learning. I basically had to try and get some kind of homeschooling going for him, but with me working all the time, it just didn't really factor. So I kind of just let him be the way he is, just let him live his best life, and that was fun for him. But now that he's in school, he's kind of struggling a bit. Now I did my own research and I wrote a letter to the principal, which is the first step to what you should do if your child is in school. You write a letter to the principal, the assistant principal of their age group or whatever. For my son's school, there's a different principal or a different assistant principal for each range. For his, there's one for K through 2. My concern with Nico is that he spoke late, had a bit of a concern with that, and along with the speaking late, he's currently not understanding. He doesn't really I want to say he's not really grasping everything that he could in schools, which is putting him below average for a kindergartner. I wrote the principal. I told him about those concerns. I told him about how his teacher also noticed that he was struggling. The teacher also sent in his own letter, his own pieces of concern. I was completely fine with that, because as a unit, I definitely want him to feel like he's learning. I don't want him to feel like he's behind or lagging or anything. After you give the letter to the principal or anyone who is associated with that, you then get a call from the school psychologist. I know everybody here is psychologists and like, oh my God, is it mental? No, it's not a mental thing. The psychologist is actually the one that works with the school to give your child the evaluation. So while the evaluation is going on, she or he keeps you in the loop. The first time you hear from the school psychologist, it's basically to get your family history. They ask me questions about, has this been a problem in my family? Is there issues? Now, I'm sharing everything with you guys. I'm being completely open. Learning disabilities is a big thing in my family, especially for the men. And speaking to the doctors, naturally men are more prone to learning disabilities if you test them against females. That was probably already statistically going to happen. But the fact that my nephew, he also suffers from speech and other things, this is something that we've all noticed, that this is just something, something that goes on in my family. And this is not something that I didn't put to the back of my mind. Once I explained that to her, she asked me about his speech, did he walk? They'll ask you how your pregnancy was, just like if you were in a regular doctor's appointment for them. After you're done answering all those questions, I think that probably takes maybe to like 30 minutes, probably an hour. After that, he or she, because at my son's school, the psychologist is she, they will then take the information. You also have to make sure your child's physical is up to date. My child's physical was up to date, but because of miscommunication, he actually Nobody actually received it, so I ended up taking him to the doctor. He got his physical, everything done, and I was able to bring that paperwork right back. Once they have that, now the next step is that they will be in your child's class. They're going to evaluate and see how he does with other people, other children, especially since Nico's biggest problem right now is not just academics, it's also behavioral. They go and I'm not sure how long they they watch them. From his teacher's point of view, I guess he told me maybe it's like a couple weeks. A couple of weeks to them could be 3, could be 4 weeks. We're already at the end of the school year, and his promotion is already in doubt, so I don't expect anything to change right away. If I can find after school, not after school because he already goes to after school, if I can find like a summer program for him to go to, best believe he's going to be in that, because I definitely want him to have all the help that he can. And the fact that he's so young, just like Potato, this gives him the opportunity to, grasp and learn things that he wasn't able to get during COVID. After the evaluation is done, that's when you yourself, you sit with the principal, the teacher, the evaluator, the psychologist, and then you guys come up with a plan if your child is eligible for the services. Now, if your child is eligible for the services, yes, it is then called special education. You guys see me looking at my little notes right here. It's then called special education. Yes, your child will be in AKA special ed for my 90s people. That's not a big deal. They're small. They don't understand. The only thing that they get is that they're in school, they're learning, and they love the learning. Nico loves to learn, but he just needs a little bit more help, and I am not making him feel bad about that, not at all. And I don't feel bad about that being his mom. You know what I'm saying? I just want him to have so much more opportunities and things that I just cannot provide to him right now because I'm always so constantly busy. But whenever I can, I definitely help out and help him with his flashcards or anything. I'm just trying to get him a little bit more familiar with more things that he can do while he's doing this. On top of that, I also do have my family members, my little sisters, they do help him. My baby sister, she's a college student. She's currently studying teaching. This is not in her level of expertise as her studies high school students. And it's not special education, but she definitely does want to get her license and everything in special education. So this kind of helps her out a little bit. And it also, is a win-win for him. The same thing with my middle sister. She also has the same disability as my son. So she kind of understands how to teach him better than any of us will, because when I grew up, I didn't have that, and neither did my baby sister. We didn't have any of those struggles. We actually just kind of breezed through school. It was actually an easy thing for us. It's great to have extra hands. Just like they say, it takes a village to raise a child. It definitely does. Don't feel bad. Don't, belittle yourself or put yourself down. You need the help and you need the support, especially if you have more than one child and this child, needs more of your attention. Potato is my child that needs more attention because physically and mentally, she does need more help with her being autistic. I always embrace and reach out, and I'm so glad for all the help. For those who are wondering and who ask questions, Nico does have a second parent. She's very, adamant and active in being in his life. And yes, like they say, gay people do have kids. It's 2022 now, okay? She makes it a point where, she wants to be more active in everything into his life. Moving forward, I'm going to do just like with Potato. Whatever I can record, I will record for you guys, and whatever other information you have or information that you would like to know on this program, and while he's going through it, please put it in the comment section. I have no problem answering any questions about this. Even if it's not even about Nico, if it's a certain question about Potato and her situation, and you have a daughter or a son, any child that's just like her, you just need more help and you're not getting the help, I can definitely help you the best I can, because I know what that's like. It took a while for me to get the help that I needed for her as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give me a like if you like this kind of content. Don't forget to give me a like if you like this kind of content. And if you're enjoying my channel, don't forget to subscribe, alright guys? See you in the next one. Peace. Many blessings.